Greetings, brothers and sisters. We are finally back. We finally made it to another reaction on this Mystelics Reacts channel. Of course, big up all the Mystelics family and the newcomers and the big up all the stuff that have been a part of this vibrations. I appreciate every single one of you guys. You didn't have to, but you trust, and I appreciate you for definitely tuning in to see what's up with your boy on this vibrations, brothers and sisters. What are your thoughts? Don't forget to leave your thoughts and comments in the comment box below, guys, so I can definitely see what you guys have to say as well as others. So definitely leave your thoughts and comments in the comment box below on the things that we gotta be talking about on this year reaction vibrations, brothers and sisters. And of course, don't forget to do what? Click the thumbs up button. Click it, brothers and sisters. Don't be shy. Don't be scared. It's free, brothers and sisters. Just click the thumbs up button for me, for your boy right there. A number of you guys tend to watch. Please click the thumbs up button. We should be getting like 1,000 thumbs up every time, man, because over 1,000 of you guys tend to watch my videos. At least 3,000 every day of you guys tend to watch my videos at minimum. So at least 1,000 thumbs up we're supposed to be getting, you know. But hey, it is what it is, brothers and sisters. I would appreciate you guys definitely clicking the thumbs up button, helping to push these videos further and further today. And of course, don't forget, if you're not done so yet, subscribe, brothers and sisters, so you'll be notified. And of course, get the notification when I publish my videos. And inadvertently, if you do, definitely turn on the post notification. You will become part of the Mystelics family right there. So definitely do so, brothers and sisters. And with that stated right there, let us get into the vibrations. Of course, I must point out something. Some individual made a post on my comment actually on my video of yesterday, and they indicated something very interesting, and I think it's vital that we understand this right here, brothers and sisters, because this individual is saying right there, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. It was actually John F. Kennedy who actually made that statement right there. Ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. Now, brothers, keep in mind, when he made that statement, was on merit of fighting for your country, okay? Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Standing up for the rights and protecting your country. That is what it's all about right there. But apparently people have misconstrued this a quote or this saying and want to apply it to pretty much everything. You know? Vote for somebody that don't do nothing for you, but don't ask what they're supposed to do for you, what you can do for them. It's interesting, brothers and sisters. I actually saw one of my people them trying to put cement in the holes on the road, brothers and sisters. He's taking his money to do these things. So in hindsight, you will say, but he's doing what his country. Ask not what your country can do for you, what you can do for your country. You can block the holes. Not true? Now, I would understand that sentiment, but the problem here is, brothers and sisters, Dominicans is paying taxes for a number of things, and they are giving the government officials in charge of these things to do things for them, and they're not doing it. And you're telling me that I suppose, take for example, let me use another example, my famous example. You paying a set of money for license and insurance or whatever, brothers and sisters, license. You pay for license for you to drive on the road, you pay for license for your vehicle to go on the road. Very interesting stuff, brothers and sisters. You pay for this stuff for them to do and make sure that they maintain the road. So you're paying for this stuff for what reason if you then have to go and pay money for you to go and decide to block the hole? Make that make sense for me, brothers and sisters. How does that make sense? When this term was, it's about fighting for your country, defending your country, it has nothing to do with government being lazy, and then the people have to go and do what the government is supposed to do. Where we be there now? You have to be blocking hole on road when the government is supposed to do these things. And you're paying taxes and you're paying fees and all sorts of things for the government to do them. They're not doing it. You still have to go back. And you have to take from your money that you're already not doing well. In the very economy the government has created that is not doing well for the people, you then have to take your money and decide, let me go and block pothole, block holes in the road. Brothers and sisters, I think a number of us fail to understand that the government is put there for certain reasons. And we should not be doing what the government should be doing in the first place. Make that make sense for me. The government is out there for them. A number of persons say, Mystelics, why don't you go into the water business and those kind of things there? I tell them that is the duty of the government to find the markets. And when the government has found the markets for the people, it then tells the people where they need to go, what it needs to do to then put out products and put out things so that the people will not be doing things in vain. So when people making these statements, brothers and sisters, you have to understand something very important, you know. Is another thing if the government is not doing, or is another thing if the government is not doing what it's supposed to be doing, and the people are allowing it to happen, then I would understand that sentiment. Be that the case in Dominica. Because the people know that the government is not doing the job. They complain and argue and all sorts of things. And then they have to take from their money to go and do what the government is doing. What is the point of the government in the first place? The government is talking about healthcare, and they literally destroying healthcare. Either they're destroying it or they're so incompetent that they don't know when things are going to get better when it comes down to the healthcare system. How on earth, brothers and sisters, in modern times, man complaining that there's no paracetamol in the hospital? I'm not an advocate for paracetamol, my goodness. But my God, come on. So the people then have to go and buy their own paracetamol to put in the hospital. That's what's happening. That's how it is. Brothers and sisters, we need to stop and think. The government needs to be working for us, not for themselves, but for us. That's why we elect them to do things. The reason why they are in positions is because of us. Whether you vote for them or the majority or they bring people overseas or whatever, they're supposed to be working for the very people who elect them to be in the positions that they're in. And if they're failing it, they need to come out. But then again, if the people are not doing anything and they're allowing the government to do whatever they want, then the people have to go in their pockets and start doing things. That makes sense. Brothers and sisters, what is the point of the government if the people have to do what the government is doing? If the people have to do what the government needs to do, what is the point of government? Tell me something, brothers and sisters. We spoke about oversight some time back, especially in the podcast. And I think you guys definitely need to check out the latest podcast that I actually did, Check that out right there. Man, it's loaded with a lot of information. I think a number of persons need to listen to, you guys need to listen to the stuff, man. Listen, my God, I tell you, humans, boy. Brothers and sisters. So, this person, they say, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. What is that? Freeness is not development. Freeness, I guess. Freeness is not development. Freeness is F-R-E-E space, or dash N-E-S-S. Freeness. Freeness. All right. Anyways, freeness is not development, but taking away from your country. That's true. Especially when the government is involved in certain things that doesn't bring out output. For example, the NEP program. A lot of the NEP programs are not necessarily creating output. Yes, we clear the roads to beautify the place, great, but what is the output? I think NEP would be best served in places like factories and this kind of things where you put the people there to work and they create surplus and they bring in the foreign monies to come inside. Ross was like a gold mine for Dominica, but the government made it go. And then people still supporting it very well. Then again, one of the things that I noticed, brothers and sisters, I've been noticing it for some time, and the government has also noticed that as well. If the government knows that the Dominican people do not want them, this is why the government constantly goes overseas to get people to tilt the scale into their favor. And the Dominican people are allowing this to happen. Let me say that again, brothers and sisters. The government knows that Dominicans do not want them. And as a result, well, let me say majority of Dominicans do not want them. And as a result, they go overseas. This is why a number of persons have been asking, why isn't Gaston Brown coming on? A number of Caribbean prime ministers coming going across the Caribbean to try to campaign to meet them. Because only scary are doing it, brothers and sisters. There's more Dominicans outside of Dominica because of what the very government has caused. Causing the people to leave Dominica to go overseas, and they're going to the places where the people have gone because they escaped the economy of Dominica. They go to these places to campaign and say, hey guys, come back to vote and vote for me. The very people and economy that they escaped, they're saying to come back and vote for them. And sometimes they give them monies or free trips or whatever it is, brothers and sisters. This is why treating is part of the rule book, but of course they still did not rectify that in the new electoral reform to state what exactly it is, because it's up for interpretation, ain't it? Up for interpretation, it would seem. Well, that's from my personal point of view. I haven't gone too in depth with that, but we know there's treating actually taking place. Treating, bribery and treating. When the government has to come and give you money during election time, you don't think that is treating or bribery? I know. The government is literally giving you money to come and vote for them. You think they care about you so much? If they care about you, brothers and sisters, you know what they would do? They would fix the economy so that you will be able to utilize the best resources of Dominica. not give the resources to the overseas people. As indicated, there's a huge possibility in WESLEY. They're building international airport, no doubt about it. They're building international airport, yes. But what else could they be doing there? Are they digging for copper? Because we've seen trucks leaving WESLEY, going all the way wherever I go, brothers and sisters. For what reason? We don't know. And we know that there's copper in Dominica. Brothers and sisters, ignorance, they always say ignorance is bliss, man. It's better you don't know certain things. But I think it's a very sad thing when you are just consistently ignorant. I think that is a crazy part. But you know what's even worse than ignorance is when you know, and then you acting like you ignorant. That is oh my goodness. Anyways, brothers and sisters, so yes, this statement was on the basis of protecting your country. It has nothing to do with the government failing to do their job, and then the people have to then step in because the government failed. It's best you take out the government from there. What would be the point of the government if the government is not doing the will of the people? But then the government knows that the people knows this, and as a result of this, they go overseas for overseas voters to come to the country. I'll say that again. They go for overseas voters to come to the country to till the scale against the very people living on island. But you know what that burns me more, brothers and sisters? And when you know that there are people in Dominica facing hardship, facing the difficult times, but because they're getting breadcrumbs for free, brothers and sisters, they cannot own a house. They cannot do nothing, brothers and sisters, alas. I remember when I went to Dubai, I saw an individual that worked at Ross. He's decked down in his red shirt, man. Decked down in his red shirt, and, you know, yeah. He used to make a lot of money in Ross. The very people that caused Ross to go, you go in and support them. Huh? Today, all he has is a shop. Brothers and sisters, a shop. Used to make a lot of money in Ross. I watched that man pass me, boy. I just shake my head. Sometimes we do things to ourselves, brothers and sisters, that in America we don't know, but we just sometimes plain wicked. We just plain wicked. Very interesting, brothers and sisters. Anyways, so thanks for that quote. Yes, but don't get it sidetracked. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country on the merit of what your government, because your government is supposed to do things. You're not supposed to be doing the government work. Simple and to the point, brothers and sisters. Anyways, hurricane season right now, and they've indicated it's hurricane season. Yes, please inspect the water before drinking. Why are they telling people that? Well, first of all, brothers and sisters, not now I notice when they come in, when the water system, I notice my throat used to dry a lot when I used to drink that thing. I used to just dry a lot, man. My goodness. I was like, oh, I'm not sick. How come my throat drying? And I realized it was the water. They used to put a lot of chlorine in the water. And trust me, I'm sure it affects people differently. Some people might not get affected at all. But for me, it used to dry my throat. So I stopped drinking the water. Even now I have filters all over my water, and then I have another filter to filter the filtered water. Hey, yes sir. Because you can't just be buying bottled water just like that. And talking about buying bottled water, brothers and sisters, you realize they have the bottled water in plastic, right? And sometimes when you pass and you see this bottle of water outside in the bare sun, you know what can happen? The plastics can heat up and end up seeping into the water. One of the things that they have been discovering in human brain, brothers and sisters, is a lot of plastic. Plastic not outside, just on the ground now, brothers and sisters. It's in your brain too. Not just your brain, but your test. For the men out there, they found plastic in human testicles. Plastic. Be mindful, brothers and sisters. Be mindful, because when it seep into the water and you drink it and it harden, you know, do your research on that for me, please. But I'll be very careful about the water. One, they're talking about this, I agree, but there's also chlorine in the water as well, of whatever they put in it. I'll be mindful of that. Have a successful filtration system. I see my people, them listen to me when I went by them. They say, hey, look at this, I watch the system. I say, yes, all you have it locked. So a number of persons have actually been listening to me when it comes on to the water system. And trust me, the water system sometimes, when you look at Flint, Michigan, and a number of places where the water was contaminated and polluted with all sorts of things. We have people doing all sorts of things and what thing going in the water, want to pretend nothing going in Dominica water because Dominica water, not true? Right. Brothers and sisters, be mindful of your water. I've been warning individuals of these things. I have been warning. All right. It's hurricane season. Please inspect the water before drinking. Even if it's not raining in your area. It may be raining in the mountains, and as a result of that, there might be dirt and stuff in there. Or other things. Or even critters. Just be mindful, brothers and sisters. Just be mindful of that. Anyways, we're moving on to Wesley. Right there. Wesley, what is going on with Wesley? All right, let's see what's up.
Hey guys, good morning. Good morning,
good evening, good night.
I am at Eden Road, Wesley. I want to share live with you.
Share the live.
I'm going to show you a building or what is left of a building at Eden Road, Wesley. This building is the only building that the government did not have to pay for. You know why? This is the only building the government did not have to pay.
Guys, I hear any set of noise there. So let's use technology, please. Technology, hide the crap at the back for me. Only enhance the voice. All right, then. Are we done? Are we? Oh, beautiful. Let's go back a little, brothers and sisters.
This is the only building the government did not have to pay for. Because under the United Workers' Party, Peter Carbon, the parliamentary representative, purchased that building from Reginald Amo to be used as a community center. This first section that it has been demolished, the government was the women's group to learn how to sew, etc., etc.
Interesting. So there were different places that actually taught people all the skill set, not just the academic understandings, brothers and sisters. Not just academic training. Not just academic fulfillment to create a path within the academic field. But other things as well. Trade is another aspect right there, brothers and sisters. But apparently, we don't seem to think. I don't know. The thought just came to mind. We don't seem to think. Let's continue.
This section,
what is going on here now?
Company that used to bottle water, herbal tea, etc. Sport jobs in the company.
Guys, this is not on my end there. This is not on my end. This is on the end of this thing right there. It seems like that is the video issue.
Are you telling me that a government care about women that care agro processing would not fast?
Guys, hold on. Let me rectify that thing there. Okay, guys, we are back for this right there. Brought it back a little bit, so let's continue.
About employment and that care about agro processing would not facilitate the owner to relocate. This government is not concerned about job creation.
Of course not.
This government is concerned about destroying people.
No, I don't think so. I think the government is mainly concerned about itself and inadvertently destroying people. I wonder if you tell me building free mansions. Well, two. The other one apparently was allegedly gifted to you that you're now renting for $64,000 a month for the people, on the people's backs. A free house you allegedly got. And you're renting $64,000 on the people's back. Brothers and sisters, who else paying $64,000 for rent? Who else? Huh? I would understand that the government is doing wonderful, and bringing heavy surplus to the people. And they decided, hey, treat themselves, no problem, brothers and sisters. The very citizens that the money, $64,000 is supposed to go to, is going to the government. For what? To go into a house that he allegedly got for free? Because he gave certain companies overseas, and I'm calling MMCE name, but he gave certain companies billions of dollars in projects to do. And inadvertently, they decided to allegedly gift him a gift. Just like the Prime Minister talk about, he gets gifts from his foreign friends. Into the point where he brought down one of the expensive jeeps his friends gave him. Not true. You think people just give just like that? Love, they love you like that is your family? Unless you're a side chick or something, which means you have to give them something in return. Ain't that the case? Anyways, let's continue, brothers and sisters. Let's get back to Wesley.
Taking out people from sustainable jobs and giving them what we call NEP work. Work you cannot make a living from.
You cannot create a career from it. NEP is not a career path, brothers and sisters. For those of you who think that is a career path, NEP was an introductory stage to help the youth to have some sort of job experience, and even inadvertently, they could work for these jobs for 6 months. You know what they call it? Not 6 months. No, that's probably too much. Probably like a month, 2 months, probationary periods, brothers and sisters, for free. Inadvertently giving back to the country, and then utilizing the skill sets that they have learned. But that's not happening, no? Not today.
So this is our community center. This section, if you notice, it was demolished 2 days ago. It's like they're pushing out the lady. They tell her you have to get out of this place. Because as you can see, we are in the airport site, the airport location. This in front here, where you see in the demolition there, that was the village council office. So they relocated the office. And there was a storeroom at the back of the office. They relocated the office. And the lady is at this end. And they're putting tremendous pressure on the lady to vacate the property.
Well, if you want the lady to vacate, pay the lady adequate amount of money, so she can leave. Pay the lady. It's another thing when you're telling people to move, and then you give them monies, and they have nowhere else to go, but they have to build their house from scratch. It's interesting.
She has been trying, based on what I understand, she has been trying to get a place to relocate to.
I just said that to you guys. That is the whole point. It's one thing to tell people relocate, and then you give them monies, but then they need to find a place for them to stay. One of the things I think the government faltered on, especially in that area right there, is that they needed to organize the people before they left. They need to organize the people before they left. You have, let's say you know you can mash up houses. You're taking over their houses, the area for it to be the international airport. At least a year before now. You let them stay in the house. You say, hey guys, we need to move out at this particular time. This is the amount of money I'm giving you, and then you need to relocate, build your house, you know, whichever, give them land and then build the house, wherever they see it fit for them to do so. And then they can move after a year or year and a half or something, whatever it is. Because all now, so brothers and sisters, since before I'm thinking, we look, we still waiting for international airport. We still breaking down place. This is this year video that they know, guys. This video came out like last week or within the week, Wednesday. So I'm confused when it's a holiday. Sometime last week, I think this video came out, or earlier this week. This is a video that just make, brothers and sisters, that is the state of the internet. Look, this the international airport. That's Scary says in 2025 we'll have international airport. Scary, that's it that we. Look, the international airport there we.
But with no avail. Brothers and sisters, what is the role of a government?
I just guys, first time I listened to that video, you know. First time. I myself trying to figure what the video is saying. But brothers and sisters, first time I listened to that, and I just indicated that earlier on. What is the role of the government if the people have to end up doing what the government is supposed to be doing? Make that make sense for me, and then you'll say, oh, I see some people talking about trash, and guys, no, we have to come together and do nonsense. The government is responsible for these things. They don't remove bins. Remember them big blue bins? You just take your house and then throw it in the thing, and they organize one time, come and take the bin and throw it and then bring back the bin. You remember those days? I remember as a little youth. Yes, man. Now today we have struggles. Just yesterday I did a video of people have trash bag on their car. Where they going with it, I don't know. But they going somewhere if it coming.
The role of our government is to facilitate employment. To facilitate agro-processing in a country, we claim that agriculture is the pillar of the Dominican economy.
They don't claim, no? Dominica is. All the resources that Dominica have lead back to where? Agriculture. Which factor in Dominica that can create more than agriculture, brothers and sisters? Which? Today we have the construction industry that are handled by foreigners. But generally speaking, the construction industry will not bring forth surplus like agriculture can. Because then agriculture, we're sending out products, we're sending out produce from the products. We're selling out the produce and we're selling out the products that the produce has made. And we can go into health and all these kind of things there. How on earth we stand as the nature island of the Caribbean and people not looking into natural remedies? What? Bro.
If I didn't show you it and tell you, you would say it's lying. You think it is?
Guys, this is the actual. I took out, man. I switched over, so you get the actual video. Man, so you'll hear the wind.
It's reasonable for farmers to have had an outlet to sell jelly water and other things, for the government to pretend that this company does not exist and to facilitate them. There are so many abandoned buildings at the old St. Andrews High School. The government could have renovated and allowed that company, that agro-processing company, to move to. But no, they are not concerned about building the Dominican economy.
But brothers and sisters, I don't think people understand something, you know. The government of Dominica is very incompetent. Very incompetent. They know how to be competent to enrich themselves and for them to stay in power utilizing the electoral reform system. They know how to use these things, brothers and sisters. When it comes down to the development of the country, brothers and sisters, what are developing in Dominica? Labor rights out there, those who like to listen to my videos. Tell me something. Leave your thoughts. What is developing in Dominica? Tell me. What is developing? One of the things where, you know, success in a country is not based off the buildings that you see, you know. Because we have a hospital, and the hospital worse than the little hospitals that had better medical health care. The hospital looking better today. True. But it's far worse than the other little hospitals that had better medical health care back in the day. People used to do operation, all kind of things. Even in Portsmouth, they used to do operations. They used to deliver babies in Portsmouth. In health centers. Brothers and sisters, just because you see a nicer looking building doesn't mean anything, you know. Just like sometimes the ladies out there see guys with gold chains and say, hey, well, Mr. Money Man or whatever. Somebody's gold chain is fake. Somebody's gold chain is fake. I see a partner that have a real gold chain on him. I know him. He have a real gold chain on him. He have a real gold chain and a bike. Them scooters. He tries to do little rapping or not rapping, boo your music here and there from time to time. And that's all he has. He don't have a home, he don't have a vehicle, he don't have nothing. There's another partner I know of. Always dressing nice and well and groom up and whatnot, but he has nothing. He has nothing, but he knows girls like to see these things. You know? So he might end up going by them and all those kind of. It actually was with somebody I knew. Not my people them, you know, but somebody I knew. And then the parents were like, that's not somebody but he looking nice. He looking nice. He well kept and what have you. But he had nothing. He has a lazy mind frame. Was going to be dependent on the woman for him to elevate himself. I don't think he was gonna elevate himself anyways. It's just a comfort that he was gonna be with that woman. His parents are like, not today. Anyways, why is Dominica like this? That's what Dominica is, brothers and sisters. Dominica full of potential. Can you imagine that? Dominica full of potential. Bare resources. Today we complaining when the citrus. Well, really? But if you're not taking care of what do you expect the government?
Of creating sustainable jobs. So all you see is demolition. That is a bus stop that was there. It was demolished by this administration.
Well, they're making an airport there, so they have to take it out.
You know, that yes, we want development, but at what cost? At what cost is that development to the people of WESLEY? Yeah? You see the
and who will develop and who will benefit from that development? Because like I said before, brothers and sisters, we have nice health hospital building, and we still have to be flying out people overseas for better medical attention. I will never forget that. Rest in peace, Pat. They're trying to stabilize the young man, but because they do not have the resources, they needed to fly him out, but they still couldn't stabilize him. I just did a video yesterday of Mackay. You think Mackay could get that medical attention in Dominica? You think that would ever be possible? Oh, we are nicer looking building though.
Cement eating project. So that is the
Another thing I have to point out, brothers and sisters, the fact that the Prime Minister himself, we have better looking hospital true than before. But the Prime Minister himself know not to never go in that hospital. He himself know. He not touching foot in that hospital. Brothers and sisters, when last you see the Prime Minister in the hospital, we saw the Mr. Speaker of the House in that hospital. We saw him in that hospital. They wouldn't fly that one out. No. Why they flying you out for? Use the servant, use the dog. Why would they fly you out? Go in the hospital, we make for you. Go ahead. But he's saying the Prime Minister them can fly their children and family and whoever they want to fly out for medical attention if they need to or do so. But it's another interesting thing if you look at it, brothers and sisters, as I mentioned, Pat situation. If something were to happen to one of your children, I don't think the Prime Minister them understands this. If something similar to what happened to Pat happened to one of your children, they end up in an accident or something of that sort, and they need to be stabilized in the hospital, and the hospital cannot stabilize them so they can be flown out for better medical attention. Whose fault would it be? Sometimes we always look outside, but we don't really look inside. Just like the Labourites believe that, hey, because the government take dumb leg back on them, have more shares or whatever, the government take it back, oh, we're not going to pay no electricity today again. The very Labourites themselves in the very country paid a record-breaking expense when it comes on to electricity. Record-breaking expense. Some people they trying their best to save the burning candle and they still are light. Can you imagine that? You have light, but you're afraid to turn on the light because you're checking, boy, things hard. Let me burn candle instead. Or some of them just have these scented candles. So I know one situation. They have these scented candles and they burning it instead. Hey, the struggle is real, but when you're supporting people who keeping you down, the fault is yours. Nothing wrong with burning your candles, you know. Don't get me wrong. It's scented candles. You turn on your light. At least have a little light with some scent going to and fro. Yes. But when you're doing that as a result of causality, and the causality is because things are very expensive in Dominica, especially the electricity bill, and they put in surcharge on your backside again. All right then. There's no reason, brothers and sisters, there's no reason for Dominicans to be paying high electricity bills. No reason at all. We have everything. We have wave. We have the potential of wave energy. We have the potential of solar energy. We have the potential of hydroelectricity, brothers and sisters. Turbine electricity. Different things we can actually utilize, different things we can utilize to say, hey guys, let us try to do something in that regard so we can lessen the burden on the people. Instead, we go and take loan to put in the back of the people. Sometimes they're going to take loan in the very bank that you put your money that you have to pay back. Let's continue.
Resource center, what is left of the resource center at WESLEY, and the agro-processing plant. It is a shame. But I had to share it because if I did just tell you that, you would probably not believe me.
Well, thanks for sharing, no doubt about it. Now we talk about agro-processing plant in WESLEY and those kind of things, brothers and sisters. So when they relocate those people and put them They have agro-processing plant there. Agro-processing plant there. They have anything to do with agriculture and the elevation of the people when it comes on to the agricultural sector there? Huh? Or they will move you to another building. You probably have to build your own house. There's nothing wrong there. You have to start back from scratch. That's why I tell you the government doesn't think, you know. The government doesn't think, or the government thinking and knows that there's copper there and say, hey, let's build an international airport, but we'll try to take out the copper first so we can make a little extra money. And not telling the people nothing. We don't know. We know that there's copper in that area though, for sure. But I guess the people don't really want to. They don't care.
This is a business place, a hardware. They have been given notice to leave, and I think they're making preparation to relocate. Very late. But that is at the airport site, more or less in the center of the proposed airstrip, the proposed runway. A lot of work to be done. A lot of work to be done. This is another gentleman again. They have problems in paying him. I don't know why they have problems in paying him. If you notice the far end.
I think the reason why there's a lot of people that don't trust the government, because apparently the government seems to be giving people housing not on the basis of actually having real titles but residential titles, so they can live there successfully but they cannot pass it on to create generational wealth. And it seems like that is an intentional thing that is being done by the government to stop people from having the ability from creating generational wealth. And as a result of that, the people will constantly be begging them in the very economy that they have destroyed for the very people that keep voting for their oppressors. That is something else, we.
And over there, up there is where the school at. There are 2 buildings up there. The big building on top was paid. The building below, no money. But excavation going on right around the property. It's not coordinated. Clearly, it's not coordinated. But I must say that the community center that was purchased by the United Workers' Party and Peter Carbon for the people of WESLEY for so on a scale. And you see how history is amazing. We led a protest. I led a protest, and I wrote to the minister responsible for community development, Mr. Walters, complaining that the village council, the WESLEY village council at the time, rented out the facility to the agro-processing plant. It wasn't for that. It wasn't to make money. It was to create skill.
Guys, I wish I could have put this in my thing here, but hopefully you guys can hearing what is being stated right there. I'll try to adjust it in post-production.
Young people how to do things, carpenter and so on, and look to they come back to haunt them, where because of lack of vision they refuse to relocate the people, and who knows, they might just demolish all of the equipments in the rest of the building. So I think WESLEY have a parliamentary representative. I hope he can.
You think that's a good statement to make. You think, just like we think there are PAL reps across Dominica. We think, we don't know, we hear, but we're not really sure, because usually PAL reps come to represent the people and do things in the vicinity that they're representing. But we're not seeing none of that stuff. None. Lie? I lie, brothers and sisters.
Step in and say, no, agro-processing should be part of our development, should be part of developing agriculture. So let me look for a place. 5 years after he signed a contract in the stadium to build an airport, an agro-processing plant is going to...
Brothers and sisters, we have agro-processing plants across Dominica. We heard of the, why is it called abattoir? We heard of the abattoir, brothers and sisters. We making money from that now. We making money. Abattoir making money, never. We making money, making billions of dollars on abattoir. Gassa boy. Gassa boy. Boy. Hey. Abattoir making money, boy. Gassa, talk to me now, please. Talk. I don't hear. No. Yeah.
And to me, it's not the business of the parliamentary representative to save jobs or to even increase on the number of persons employed there. If the company have financial issues, to step in and provide assistance, because government is to assist. I do not believe it making any sense for the government to build a house for a man that do not have a home, $300,000-$400,000 home. Give it to him for free.
I don't think so either. Especially when able-bodied people are there. One of the things that the government should have done, well, you know the government is incompetent. One of the things the government should have done is, since it's giving people's houses for free, well then again, that is because I'm also thinking of the economy that caused the people not to have the ability for them to build their houses. But in an ideal world, brothers and sisters, where the individuals who are not able to build their houses, even with the economy doing well, not Dominica at present, but in an ideal world where Dominica would actually have a nice economy doing well, and the government would build houses for individuals who are not able to do so per se. They are the ones who've fallen behind, you know. Build houses for them, and then I believe that the people who have been given free housing, these people then have to go out and work in certain areas. Voluntarily work. Forced voluntary work. Because they give them free housing. You give them free housing, so no problem. Okay, once on a Saturday, you have to come and do something somewhere. Do something, add to the community, because you get a free housing from the very community. So go once, twice a week, or whatever it is, you know, you have your own job or whatever. Come and provide some sort of assistance. You know, I think that would be beneficial. Not just giving people houses and they staying there for free and nothing doing. Just there, you know. That doesn't make sense to me.
But without papers, mark you. And then a bottling company, a processing company that needs a little assistance, you refuse to give them the assistance to create jobs, to bring in foreign exchange. Because when you have a processing plant, it's to bring in foreign exchange, you know,
That's why I mentioned Ross earlier. The whole ideal here, brothers and sisters, is for us to bring monies into Dominica. That's the whole idea. Bringing monies into Dominica. And how do you bring the money into Dominica? Utilize the agricultural sector to do so. Utilize the agricultural sector as number one to bring in as much money as possible with the products and produce. Even in health, brothers and sisters, herbal remedies, all these kind of things there. Selling this stuff, it works. Not to say it doesn't work, you know, it works, brothers and sisters. And then the monies made from agriculture will go into tourism. So you have one aspect. Money's coming in there. You take some of that money to put somewhere else to try to bring in. Because we have heavy competition. Dominica is an agricultural-based nation. The other Caribbean islands are focused on tourism. Therefore, we'll have serious competition when it comes down to tourism right there. So we have to focus on what we have, brothers and sisters. It's like a number of persons who have certain talents and skills and they're not utilizing their talents and skills. Then they work in 9 to 5. Wasting their life working 9 to 5, brothers and sisters. It's very interesting, isn't it? When you are able to compare and contrast these things. So monies from agriculture will be able to come in, then go into tourism, bring in more people from tourism, but our main thing will be agriculture. And then from there we are able to do a number of things. Money coming in causes people to have more spending power. The more spending power then creates what? Entrepreneurship. It must start somewhere. You have to go at the root. The root of Dominica is agriculture. This is what St. Vincent is going into, you know, or has been into. They are a volcano the other day, brothers and sisters. They utilize their volcanic soil for them to go into agriculture. That's what these people are doing. Dominica is blessed already with 9 active volcanoes. We already have volcanic soil. And we're just forming the absolute royal donkey. Talking about, if not CBI, what else? Foolish.
Some of this stuff is being exported. So why has the government turned its back on this agro-processing plant at Eden Road, Wesley? Why?
Because the government does not want purified bulk water. So that's another water place that So the government doesn't want people to elevate. Simple. The government doesn't want people to elevate. And then they utilize people from overseas to keep the people in check. Because when they're bringing them down to vote, they are coming to vote. The problem I do have with that whole situation, brothers and sisters, is that Dominicans themselves also vote for the oppressors. That is insane.
Why have they failed to facilitate the company?
Did they move it somewhere? That's what it's indicating right there. Did they move it somewhere? Are they facilitating that?
Assist the company to relocate and to put money in the company. I know for sure if it was the United Workers' Party that was in government, this facility would probably be employing at least 20-30 persons now.
Well, that's nice. But if the United Workers' Party was there, the airport would not be built there in the first place. They already had a conducive area. The Cubans, everybody was studying that area and said that is a good place for them to build an international airport. Since 2005, Dominica would have an international airport if United Workers' Party had won again. But of course, we know what happened back then. Well, you don't know. Well, they tried to say that United Workers' Party was corrupt, and then when the DLP them come in, so they fool the people into thinking United Workers' Party was corrupt and these people will be going to jail. Up to now, no jail. They said that they would be painting the cell blue. Yes. They said, if you go back on the podcast that I had with Cabral Douglas, he referenced that as well. So you can go back on the podcast I actually had with Cabral Douglas on BrBpTV podcast, brothers and sisters. Check it out. There's a number of things you guys definitely need to tune into when it comes on to the situation right there. Anyway, brothers and sisters, I think I'm going to end it right there. You get the whole point in what the individual was saying right there. Why doesn't the government facilitate? Well, I tell you why. They don't facilitate because they are aligned with the global order. That would be what? But you'll own nothing, you'll have nothing, and you'll be happy. Isn't that what is happening in Dominica? Government are giving people houses that they cannot own. You cannot create generational wealth, and therefore the next generation has to be dependent on the very government still. So they'll have nothing, they'll own nothing, and all they have to do is get the breadcrumbs for free. And because of the human cognition, they are happy to get the breadcrumbs, so they're happy. This is why you see a few of them taking the $200 or whatever they got and the shirts for them to be a part of Dubla rally. Yes. And they're shouting, yay! Not listening to the very people who speaking on the stage, and what they're saying is completely contrary to what is happening in Dominica. It's amazing, brothers and sisters. But then again, when you have people clapping for the Prime Minister, when the Prime Minister telling them, I can send my children overseas for medical attention, asking about you, and the people clapping. When Reginald can be in Granby saying, I don't care about the missing money, and the people clapping, the money that can help them, they clapping. Woo! We don't care about the missing money that can help us because Reggie says so. Not true? Guys, this is all I have for this year vibrations today. What are your thoughts? Leave your thoughts in the comment box below. And of course, with that said right there, don't forget to click the thumbs up if you appreciate my concise. Definitely leave your thoughts. Click the thumbs up button and leave your thoughts in the comment box below. If you have not done so yet, brothers and sisters, subscribe and turn on post notifications so you can get the latest vibrations when they come through, as well as being part of the Mystelics family when you click the post notification bell in that regard right there. Anyways, brothers and sisters, boy Mystelics, tune in a bit later on BrBpTV. I'll be doing the continuation of the Sunday live interaction reaction I was doing. I think a number of persons have some questions to ask, so we definitely want to get into that around 5:15 around that time, brothers and sisters. We'll be locked in and ready for that vibrations right there. So definitely keep it locked to BrBpTV next. And of course, I'll post a link in the description, in the first comment in the comment box below, so you guys can definitely check it out right there. I'll be doing a live interaction reaction, so definitely tune in around 5:15, brothers and sisters. Obviously, the video will be up even after the interaction. I know a number of persons say, hey, I missed the interaction, I missed the live interaction. But I appreciate every single one of you guys who will be there. And with that said, be real, brothers and sisters. Salute the King always. See you guys very soon today at 5:15 in about, well, I can't give you a time because the video is going to come anytime. Around 5:15 GMT, brothers and sisters, -4. Anyways, be real. Salute the King always. Be positive.